and welcome to our community. This is Talk the Walk at Bharatvani, where we interact with innovators to know more about their experiences and journey. Our guest for today is Manish Kotari. He is the managing director and owner at Rhino Machinery. Hi, Manish. Would you like to tell us more about Rhino Machinery?
So I'm Manish Kothari. Namaskar. Thank you for inviting me. By qualification, I'm an engineer, graduated 30 years back, and our company started in 1991. Became a private limited in 96, and Rhino Machines has been into manufacturing foundry machines and innovative products and solutions since then.
Okay.
We're based out of Anand in Gujarat.
So, so I've heard the basically Rhino Machinery. Y'all make bricks out of plastic waste, right?
Yeah.
So how did you come out with this idea?
So it's a long story, but I'll try to compress it. Since we are into some innovative solutions, waste recovery is being one of our key working areas as a mission statement also. We had been working on sand reclamation, recovery of waste sand from the foundry industry. We got the recovery of sand was happening, but there was another waste generator which was called the dust. And to find a solution to the dust, we got into this silica plastic block project. It's not only a brick, it's a block. It can be of any shape. And plastic became one of the elements which was used to bond the dust into making a product. So it did not start from plastic. It started from the another end of the waste.
Okay. Basically, for finding a solution, you all created a whole other innovation. Okay, that's very fascinating to hear. So, on this journey, when you all were creating, was there any, funny thing that had happened, where you all were like, I'm going to remember this moment for the rest of my life while you're innovating it?
No, so one of the things which was most highlight, one of the highlights was when we made the first brick from the plastic, and we were like this, putting them together with each other. They were not breaking. Then we threw the brick from 8 to 10 feet. It did not break, and that told us that this material is something different. So that is one of the very key moments where we had not, because this was not a technical calculation, it was an experiment of trying out two materials and making a composite. It had no theoretical calculation behind it.
So are you saying you stumbled upon this innovation?
We had been researching. We have been trying to look for how to get dust into something usable. So after trying with a lot of different things, with cement, with fly ash, with gypsum, we saw somewhere that yes, plastic could work. So our R&D engineer Rajnikant, he came upon this, and he said, let us try this into an open mixer and do some experiments. So he and two of our young trainees, they put their head together, made something, and that's how it happened.
That's really nice. Okay, so how would you consider the bricks that you make from this are different from what we get in our regular markets?
See, the technically, if I say, it's nearly about 2 to 3 times stronger than the normal red clay brick. Okay, so technically it is much better than what we get today. From strength wise, from abrasion resistance, from it does not need water, it does not consume water while making, it does not consume water while building, and yet it bonds by the same cement mortar. It is lighter by 30 to 40% than the red brick, and it can be reused, which does not happen with the red clay brick. I can break it, remelt it, and remold it. So it has its life of its own. It is
Yeah.
like somebody told me once, it's like the Indian culture of avatars.
Yes. Very
So
true.
every time you break, it dies. You have a new avatar. You have a new Janam.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow.
But on the other side, the flip side, because it's not a high volume, and so the cost of production is higher at this moment.
Okay.
That is the flip side of.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, anything that is, eco-friendly, you could say, and is
Yeah.
the solution, I think costs are always going to be a little higher than, commercial products.
So this is one of the challenges which we have been able to overcome in
Yes.
the last one years of research, where we initially, so for you also, when you say you're only talking about a brick, we are no more talking about this as a brick. Now it is a composite material.
Okay.
It is a material which can be molded into different shapes, right?
Yes.
So we have used this property and brought in different shapes where this is able to compete commercially also, or maybe better than that.
Yeah, I think I had read somewhere that y'all have made a stool, a chair.
A stool, we have got paver tiles. So
Yes.
I can show you somewhere.
Oh, please.
So we made this paver tile, right?
Oh, that's
It's
so cool.
And this paver tile has been used for making a stool. It has been used for on the floor. It has been used to make a painting, wall painting.
Wow.
This is
innovation.
maybe 1 feet by 1 feet. And other side we have made this, which is a coaster.
Oh, nice. Okay,
It's
so
the same material.
Very nice. So basically, it's that y'all can take anything. Like y'all could take the material and make anything out of it.
Right. Absolutely. So when people ask me, what can you produce? I say, whatever you can imagine can be molded. Can be made.
So
we have transitioned from a brick idea about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. It was all about brick.
Yes.
We moved from brick to paver block. From paver block, we have moved to multi-industry, and it is agnostic to any industry.
Wow, that's very fascinating.
Yeah.
So, as an entrepreneur, being in this industry, you would have faced, some, hardships or anything. How would you, give some input or some, advice to, younger entrepreneurs, like if they face any hardships?
See, this product, like it has attracted you a lot. I have got people calling me for last more than a year, and most of them are youth, very excited, very passionate about environment, very concerned about what is happening around us.
Yes.
And when they come to me, so see, there's one more side of my background which is into entrepreneurship development, where I am part of a United Nations organization program called Empretec, which is to build capacity in our country.
Wow.
For entrepreneurship. So these two things connect together. What we have understood, what the UN has done a research, and this would be a very useful advice for startups or any entrepreneur. We talk about a lot of startups, but we also see that the success rate is very low, maybe 2%, 1%, 3%, right? But these startups have started on their own. But if you take the research, all the startups who have started been incubated by an existing entrepreneur, their success rate is more than 95%.
Oh, that's nice. So,
and this is the only message. So if you really want to be a startup, get hosted and incubated by an existing enterprise.
So like that, a person would have more motivation and would complete his
or her
project.
So what we have, so take this, so based on this learning and understanding, because to build I understand even after 25, 30 years, we have to struggle through so many rules, regulations, commerce. Exactly. So you come with a great idea, you got a lot of passion, and then you get entangled into so many complications. Exactly. And you lose the motivation to do something. used to get so depressed. So we, it happens. It happens. It has happened with us also, right? So when they come, I say, okay, why don't you come here, spend a month with us, start your production over here, make your samples, get your product established in the market, and then go set up a plant where you want to go. So you get incubated in business with us.
So this would help.
And this is
yeah.
So this is for any business, not only this business.
Okay.
If you're part of a value chain, if you are able to contribute to whatever mission is there, and you come up with your ideas of working with them, I can assure you, and there's a research, it's not only my experience, but their success rate would be more than 95%.
From something that you were just saying earlier, where you all get people to come, work with you, like an internship or whatever. So I read, I think, on one of the social media sites where you all have an internship for engineering students.
Yeah.
Rhino Machinery does. So, how is that going? How is that, changing students' lives?
So how it is changing students' lives, only students can tell. I can't tell. But we can see the difference. We can see that for last more than 1 year, they have not got any access to any physical classes. No way of reaching any industry. In any case, even when they were in college, their connection to the industry was very poor.
Okay.
Very poor. Somehow our system works so.
Okay.
So this was an opportunity to get connected to them, because they were also hungry for doing something. No, how long can you sit in four walls?
Exactly. Completely agree.
How long can you study online? Because you can't make a machine online. You can't do grinding online. So there have been few students who are very exemplary. There are some students who are. So everybody will have their own pace.
Yes.
But we went beyond that. So we are, after doing the internship, yesterday we have announced that we'll start giving them part-time jobs.
Oh, wow.
So they continue their learning.
Exactly.
The education says 15 days mandatory internship, but there are students who have done 30 days. They ask us what to do. I said, for us, we don't need a college letter. We need your interest.
Yes.
And this connection between the student and industry is building, and we are trying to make this as a system. So it's gone beyond engineering. Rhino Machine has another partner company, Vimansa. It is into textile garments. Today we have started internship with 2 graduates from. One is sitting in Gorakhpur, NIFT MTech, NIFT master student.
Yes.
And one in Bhilai. And they are doing online and into textile. So internship can be for any subject. In an industry has everything. It's not today. One of the problems I've seen that we are limiting internship only to engineering. Why?
Yeah. Why?
Every education system, even if you're in journalism or you're, for example, whatever activity you're doing, what if you are given this opportunity while you are studying?
Yeah. I think people learn also better hands-on job.
Yeah, it's a learning by doing.
Exactly.
So you are able to connect theory with practice. You imagine things will be like this when I come out of college. But the reality is very different.
Very different, I must say. So talking about students, how are you as a student?
So as a student, of course, I've topped in my class. As a student, I was very good, but it was not that I was studying very hard. It was just that I was disciplined in the last 2 years of my education. The first year, but still I was bunking 50% of my classes. So yesterday it's not about going to the class. It's about your ability to absorb knowledge.
Yes.
Right. And your ability to understand things, not to rote. So people do rote learning. I say, how can engineering be rote learning? It's all about application.
True.
So So that is my journey of education has been being consistent with what I am doing and being disciplined in what I'm doing.
So exactly. I think discipline is, one of the topmost, quality a person should have if they want to be successful. Would you agree?
So it's not about discipline, it's about habits. I would make it a change from discipline to habits. And now after 25 years, when I went to this Empretech program of the UN, I started to understand that at the core of entrepreneurship is only behaviors, not skills. And the moment you are able to create good habits around those behaviors, your success keeps on growing. It's all about balancing your 30 behaviors. So this research, so whether if you are able to put those behaviors at a very young age, you get organized. And I do encourage a lot of people. So our daughter has gone through this workshop, and today she's in South Korea shooting on a Korean TV. She's
nice.
Getting documented in Korea on Korean TV. But what she has been able to get at a very young age is a set of tools of understanding herself.
Okay.
It's very important for any individual at a young age to understand yourself. You have your own purpose. You'll have your own pace. Yes. Don't get influenced by Manish Kothari has done so much, I should also do so much. Do what you think you want to do. Just find yourself.
Okay. So okay, so what would be, one advice that you would give to any young entrepreneur, Indian or, abroad?
Invest in understanding yourself.
That's nice.
If you understand yourself, you understand business.
How would you relate that?
See, I've gone through this and I've seen a lot of people go through this.
Okay.
So if I understand that I'm a very good information seeker, right? But I'm not very disciplined, means my efficiency and quality is not very good. I don't follow routines.
Yes.
I don't plan.
Okay.
Or I don't have a goal itself.
Okay.
Then I'll be Alice in Wonderland. No, I don't. Any road leads to my goal.
True.
Okay. So these are all behaviors, how you think. And if you start to understand where you are strong, where you are weak, which is your core strength, you'll be able to channelize your energies properly.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
it's again, if you go back to our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita talks of the same thing. You go to any core of any religion, it talks the same thing. It's all we talk is try to first understand yourself.
What is your what is your vision for Rhino Machinery? What would you like to turn it into?
So see, earlier I used to have a thought that I would make it 100 crore company or this. So these are all biases which existed in me till I went to this workshop, and these are all outcome driven biases, which is not in my control. Okay. Today, the only thing which I am working on is the process of doing it. How do I do it? And building a system from bottom up. So if I behave in a proper way, if my entire organization behaves in a proper way, the success will come on by its own. What we have understood is the market potential for this BRICS, for example, this SPB project.
Yes.
Is 1,000 crores, the project. That is the size of the market, right?
Wow.
For only supplying of the machines. I'm not talking about the product.
Oh my God.
You're a machine manufacturer.
Okay.
But if I am not ready to absorb the business,
okay,
will I be able to convert it to 1,000? So what happens is when we set some goals like this, and we have gone through that, we have not been able to succeed, and then we feel very depressed. Oh, I did not reach there.
Okay.
So my goal today of Rhino Machine, our entire organization has gone through this program, and I am trying to help them find their own purpose. The only job today I have is to help each of my employees to find who they are, what they want to do. And when they collect together as a force of people who are having clarity, the enterprise grows by itself.
Wow, I love this philosophy, Manish. So Manish, you just going back to the textile, company that you have you're partnered with.
Yeah.
I think I'll have come out with a mask.
Yes.
Yes, the N98.
See, normally I don't. Yeah, normally I don't sit in the office without a mask. It's the first time I'm sitting without a mask in the office.
Oh.
And this is also an innovation. So this is not Rhino's innovation or Mimamsa's innovation, the textile company.
Oh, okay.
This is an innovation by our own education institution, IIT Bombay.
Oh, okay.
It's one of a kind of innovation which is transformational. Right?
Yes.
So our innovation was in the business model, not in the product.
Oh, okay.
So innovations can be of different types. So we have taken their technology, we have taken their license, and used our textile manufacturing expertise to convert it into a product.
That's smart. But I've also heard, I think I've heard where you all have said it's better, the technology is better than the N95.
Right. See, this mask has 98% filtration.
Okay.
It is made out of cotton fabric, not synthetic. It's biodegradable. It is washable and it can be recoated also.
Oh.
Again, it's a recyclable.
So everything that
it all connects to our everything, because if you see the principles on which Rhino Machines is working, is waste recovery and energy efficiency as a social responsibility.
That's
so
nice.
Whenever we start to do something, automatically that mission starts connecting the dots. This is a mask where the virus does not get trapped, like a surgical mask where virus gets trapped.
Yeah.
It traps and it kills it also.
Oh. And
so you can put it anywhere. The coronavirus, the bacteria will. So this is one of the best technologies. I can tell IIT Bombay, whatever they have done is very, very strong. It's a very good technology.
Sure. Honestly, this interview has just opened my eyes. I feel, from you talking about, the habits that people should have, to, the list of things that you have been helping students do to get them in the field, to get them, to get their career started, to, working with young entrepreneurs, etc. It's been amazing, and it's been, so insightful. And I think it's so important for, everyone to at least do a little bit for, the Indian community and the Indian innovations that's happening. Thank you so much, Manish. Thank you for, coming.
Thank you, Arika. Thank you for allowing me to share.